game.
Was there anybody that you met here and you're like, I really didn't like that guy playing against them, and now that I've actually met them, they're not a bad guy?
Put him on the spot here. For 3 years, like battling in the playoffs, I think Kempe is probably the guy that was pretty annoying to play against. You know, he's a skilled player, but he plays hard too. And the first day I got here, you know, he came right up to me and acted like there was nothing wrong. So
right. So then, how long after you signed then did like someone address the elephant in the room in the history of 3 straight years in the playoffs, Edmonton and LA meeting?
I think it was more my Oiler teammates giving me a harder time than the Kings. It was kind of funny when I signed with LA that on July 1st, I had a couple of them come over up in Muskoka. I had Bouchard and Ryan McLeod come over. My neighbor up there is Adam Henrique. So then he came over, and then they're like, you had to choose the Kings out of anyone. Yeah. So it was pretty funny, but you know, they obviously understand it's a business, and you know, it was some funny laughs that night.
The Amazon series is coming out. McDavid, I guess it's after Game 2 in Florida when he gets angry about the way you're playing as a team. What do you remember about that?
That game, I was kicked out early on into the first period, so I was just hanging out with some of the other players that weren't playing that game in the dry stalls, and all you could just hear is loud noises. So I wasn't really in the room to hear all that, but he's just trying to win just like the rest of us. But you know, it was a good message from him.
How often a year does that happen?
Not very often. I think that just shows how competitive he is.
Post Game 7, given how much of a focal point and just the human interest, I think, in that scene and being able to see it, what was it like?
I don't really know if there's much words to it, right? You're trying to process that you didn't get the goal that, you know, you've been chasing your whole life. You know, like this is the last time maybe this whole group's together. There's so many emotions going through your head that, you know, it's not fun being on that side.
I remember last year when we were chatting at times during the playoffs, one of the Oilers players said to me, Warren Foegele is the guy in this room who is most on top of what's happening in the league. You love knowing about what's going on in the league. Is that true?
I love the sport. You know, I love watching games. I love, you know, keeping up what's going on. There's another guy on that team. The funny thing is, there's a couple guys on the Oilers who say they don't keep tabs, but then they know everything.
So, who are we talking about here?
I'm not going to say names, but there's a few that say, oh yeah, I'm not sure, and then they know all these things. So, but I'd probably agree to that. You know, I love watching the game. I'm super passionate. I'm a player, but I'm also a fan too. You know, you like seeing when, you know, offer sheets are happening, you know, and obviously trades are exciting too when it's not you. And no, I think it's good for the game.